Hello, creative friends. This is Joy. So, I am continuing to work in my Frida Kahlo Little Golden Book Journal, and I decided that I wanted to make some mini journals to go into this journal to provide more writing space, but also I needed to make some tags and some other things to put in the journal. So here I just had this Dollar Tree journal that I got. You get like three in a pack. And I took one of the free printables that I had and made a cover and then added the pages as you saw with a stapler. I removed the staples from the little book I got from Dollar Tree, took 3 pages, put them in this cover that I made, stapled them, cut the pages down to size, and then use my corner rounder to do the corners. And I did another one a little bit smaller, and that was just using plain printer paper. And then here is another free printable that I decided that I was going to make into another little journal. So I took the other 3 pages, because I believe there was 6 pages in this, or no, there was 9 pages in the journal. Nope, I take that back, 10. So I made 3 different journals with the line paper and then the one little journal with just plain printer paper. And so here I'm stapled the papers into this cover, and then now I'm cutting it down to size. And I'm making it, about the same size as the one I had made before, and then I end up rounding the corners, so I'm just double checking the size of it and trimming off a little bit, erasing my pencil mark, and cutting the other side and rounding the corners. So I made 4 books, and you can see there at the top that I have 4 piles going. So I went through my stash and I found different things that I could put in the journal, and I made piles. So I wanted 4 of those little books, one for each signature. I have 4 signatures in the little golden book journal, and so I divvied up what I found into the 4 piles. So here I have some heavy cardstock, and I'm just taking printer paper, and it was a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I cut in half, folded it, cut it in half. I put printer paper, I believe it was 3 pages, which I cut in half, and then put it in these 2 journals, because the second signature and the last signature I could put a little bit more in, because those didn't have any pages from the little golden book in them, so I was able to add additional pages and pockets and tucks. And so I made these 2 additional journals, like I said, with just plain paper, where like you can just use it for writing or drawing, or whatever that you want to use it for. I'm rounding the corners, and I decided to take my Frida stamps sets that I had and stamp. Each one has a picture of Frida, and so I decided that I was going to stamp that on the front of the journal. Now, if you watched any of the previous videos of me making this book, you'll know I had some difficulties with getting these stamps to stamp clearly and completely. So here, and I had to start using just my hand. So here is what I did with this one, and I thought, well, I don't know, it's such a big stamp if I'm going to get a good impression. So I got a stamp block to make sure I stamped a good impression. I put it on there, but then I moved to stamp a little bit, so it smudged a little bit at the bottom, but at least it was clearly stamped. Otherwise, I would have had to stamp it on something else and then glue it on or whatever. So then the other one, I thought, okay, well, that did okay. So I took the other one, put it on my stamp block, and then stamped it, and it turned out perfectly. So I was happy with that they both stamped. That I get a good impression, and I got them stamped, and then I put those in my second and my last signature. like I said, I went through my stash and I got different papers, envelopes. I found some like free printables and printables that I paid for that I thought would work in this journal, and other ephemera to use to actually stuff and fill the journal. And here I'm just kind of cleaning up a little bit of the where it's smudged to make it a little clearer, on this stamped image. It wasn't too bad, so I was able to touch it up enough to where I was happy with it. I mean, if it was, you know, worse, I would have probably, like I said, just stamped it on something else and glued on, but luckily I didn't have to. Here I'm using a white Posca pen to like touch up some of the areas where it kind of smeared. But in any case, it was good enough. Like I said, it wasn't too bad. And so I was okay with it without, having to redo it. So I put those, like I said, in my second stack and last stack. And then I decided to proceed with stuffing the journal with all of the items that I decided to add to this journal. And I did also, I have um, a place where I'm keeping like tags. And so I went in and pulled out several tags that I made, and I also added those to my stacks to include in this journal. So here, like I said, I'm just going through and I'm deciding, like I took the first stack of papers and ephemera that I had, and deciding on where I want to place these items in the journal. So I'm going through the first signature, and that's one of the tags I previously made that I decided to use in this journal, and deciding where I want in this first signature, I want this first stack of items to be placed. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just filling up the first, and also there's like some bird cards that I thought were really pretty that I added, which is what I just put in that one pocket. And so yeah, I'm just going through and making sure I'm happy with the placement of the items in the first signature. And in the past, when I would stuff journals, I would kind of go through and add to the first and add to the second and add to the third. And then by the time I got down to the last signature, it seemed like that, I didn't have as many things to add, and so I felt like that you know it was unbalanced, and so then I would have to go back through and say, okay, well, let me pull stuff out of this signature that seems to have a lot and add to the last. So this here actually made it easier for me to make piles like this, and that way everything was more evenly distributed throughout the journal. And that one green card there, that's is a postcard. So I had a bunch of postcards, and there was another um, tag that I had previously made. And I actually need to make more tags. I mean, I have, instead of like making tags for this, which I was going to do, I was like, well, I have a whole bunch of tags that I've previously made. I should, pull from that and use those up. So that's what I did. And there was some tags in some of the printables, like that one there that I just put in that pocket, um, that I cut out, and I just added like a piece of lace to the top to put in here. So I actually have two tags for each signature, and I have one of the little booklets for each one, but then the ones that I made with the white cardstock and the stamped image on the front, I had that second one that I put in the second and the last signature. So this book, if you go back and watch previous videos of me creating this journal, You'll see I made 4 signatures for this book. And anyway, so I'm going through and I'm continuing to take each stack for each signature and figuring out where I want the different items to be placed in each signature. And I did notice that this third one seemed to have a lot of things in it, and the last one I kind of had room for more, so I did go back and use, I think, something from this signature to kind of fill in the last signature, because somehow or another I got them, you know, uneven or something. I don't know. They just didn't seem like, it seemed like the last signature could use more, and this third signature seemed to have too many things, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just continuing to figure out where I'm going to put everything and what I want to do with, if everything that I have is I'm happy with, you know, where they're at, and if I wanted to move anything. And so that's what I am doing, is just checking and then filling up the last signature with the items that I pulled for that. And so here's where I go back and I'm like, okay, where's that extra piece? Or that one bird, I guess I thought, you know, looked better there, and I wanted to swap them out. And there's another tag that I previously made, and that's a tag that was from one of the printables. And then here I also is had like some book pages, some music pages that I decided to use in here. And there's one of the booklets and some more book pages and music note pages. And here's just a piece of stationery that I don't even, there's a couple pieces of stationery I had in my stash. I don't know, remember where I got them from or where they came from, but I got to thinking, oh my God, stationery, that's such a great idea. I need to go to like check out the Goodwill and stuff and see what stationery they have there, because that'd be perfect. You have envelopes and then you have the pages and stuff to use and stuff in your journals. Perfect. So here, this journal stuffed, and as you can see, it's perfectly filled. I'm really happy with it. It's not too much and it's not too little. That makes me happy, very happy, thumbs up. And then here I'm showing you just a quick flip through of the journal and the final journal for the most part. One more thing I want to do with this journal, which is something I'm working on now, is doing a spine dangle. So right now I'm working on making paper beads, turning them into boho beads, and then creating the little spine dangle to go on here, which will be the next video I put out. But as far as, creating this little golden book of Frida Kahlo, this is pretty much it, and I'm really happy with it. I was going to, the next little golden book I was going to create was going to be Alice in Wonderland, but actually we're getting so close to Christmas that I have a little golden book for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I'm like, I really want to do a Christmas journal, so I think that's going to be the next one I do. And the video that I put out next for this, creating the paper beads and the boho beads and the spine dangles, I'm actually creating for all 3 journals, even though I don't have the Christmas one done or the Alice in Wonderland one done yet. But I'm going to go ahead and make spine dangles for all 3 of them. And so you'll see that coming up. And that's what I'm working on currently So I thought, well, if I'm gonna make a spine dangle for one, I might as well go ahead and make it for all three of them, right? And so I've already got those in the works, and then I'm gonna get busy working on the Christmas one first, I believe, because I want to make sure that I have that done and the videos edited and posted and everything before Christmas comes up, since we're heading into the Christmas season. So yeah, this is a little golden book I did of Frida Kahlo. I hope you like this video. If you do, you can give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave any comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.